Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So I have pre-pulled some cards and I'm using them as a guideline as to what I'm going to say. So the first row of cards are the Six of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So the Six of Wands indicates some sort of success. And if I'm speaking about the twin flame journey, it would be that we both really felt the same about each other. And I was able to speak up when he wasn't, for whatever reasons. But because I spoke up too soon and he wasn't ready, it caused all these swords. The Seven of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So over the course of this three years since I've been gone, and the 1 or 2 years that we've been doing this little dance, there's a lot of swords that it caused confusion between the both of us, with me being so upfront and him not wanting. He felt it, but he didn't want it, and but he could never tell me. So the Eight of Swords, of course, is considered being all up in your head, being locked in, feeling like, what am I going to do about this situation? Part of the twin flame journey is when I think of him, he thinks of me. When he thinks of me, I think of him. And, there are times when he just was like fighting the whole connection, and sometimes I was. So when I was ready, he wasn't ready. When he was ready, I wasn't ready. And it caused a lot of mistrust between us, although deep down inside, he's the only one I really, really trust. But we're not in communication except for by telepathy. So I have to be very careful of my thoughts, because sometimes I could be taken over into the left field and he might be, in the dugout. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, we're opposite in a lot of ways, but we're alike in a lot of ways. And when I started talking to God, they told me there was someone who was my twin flame. And it was someone I knew between 1 and 3 years. And that was him. He was the only one. And it was really hard to take his rejections. And I'm sure I rejected him at least one time. And that situation was, I just decided to call him one time in the evening, and he didn't pick up. And then the next day I saw him, he ran up to me, was like trying to engage in a conversation with me, and I just totally snubbed him. And then we didn't talk for a while. But yeah, the Six of Wands indicates something really, really good. So seeing how it's the first card, and I have to run off of that, I feel like all the swords were miscommunication between us and other people getting involved. So the next set of cards I have is the Ten of Swords, the Lovers, the Six of Cups, and the Temperance. So the Ten of Swords is pretty much at your wit's end. maybe he felt like I kept stabbing him in the back, and maybe I felt like he kept stabbing me in the back. But truthfully, I think it was people around him, because I disconnected from everybody. I stayed isolated all these years. When I got here in California and been around my family, I did talk a little bit about us, but basically I didn't really get deep down into it, where he was, he had friends that he had for at least a couple years, 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. And he was saying to them, how can I feel this way about her when I've only met her, been around her a short period of time. And so he was struggling with, the fact that he had this love for me and didn't know where it came from. And the 6 of Cups is being nostalgic to the fact that, what we had together and what we sometimes shared via telepathy. And the Temperance is there to make sure it all balances out in the end. So out of 4 cards, we have 2 major arcanas, the Lovers and the Temperance. And the next 4 cards we have is the Empress, the World, the Ace of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. So I believe that this is coming to pass. The Empress is everything. She's like marriage material. The World is starting new. You get a fresh start. The Ace of Wands is a lot of passion. And the 5 of Wands is, some sort of battle. It's like trying to hold on to these 3 things: the Empress, the World, the chance of the new beginning, and the passion. And you have the more obstacles to hold you back. Oh, it's never going to work out with her. Oh, she's not what you think she is. She's trash, or whatever these people were telling him. So he had a lot of fighting to do for this relationship. And again, God took me out of the situation, and pretty much if he wanted me, he'd have to fight for me. So there had been a while where maybe it had to do with those swords, where he was convinced, he allowed his friends to convince him that I was a certain way, although he really had these deep feelings for me. So the love and the hate, they say, what is that saying? It's a fine line between love and hate. So all the love that he actually had for me, he allowed them to fabricate things. And, we really didn't have any real contact, so there was no way for him to confirm. And he chose to believe it. So the 5 of Wands, again, is fighting for the Empress, the World, and the Ace of Wands, the new beginning, with the passion. So then the next 4 cards I pulled was the King of Cups, the Knave of Coins, the Queen of Cups, and the Chariot. Now I kind of read this in a couple different ways. I see the couple, the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, with the Knave of Coins in between. So it could be that the King of Cups, his higher self, knew that it was the Queen of Cups, where the Knave of Coins maybe was his lower self, and he chose to ignore the Queen of Cups to go for the bag, to go to try to make more money, and discard, not discard it, but maybe just set her on a shelf or something. But then you have the Chariot. So normally, well, I don't know about this day and age, but for me, I didn't want to chase him. So I don't consider the Chariot to be part of the Queen of Cups. I consider the King of Cups, realizing that he's been focusing on coins when she's right there, and both of them together could be so abundant. So he's chosen to get on his chariot. And then the last four, I got the High Priestess, the Nine of Coins, the Star, and the Ace of Swords. So the High Priestess, well, she's already in the knowing. She's already in the knowing because she trusts in God, and God told her that if you take this path, I will give you abundance. If you take this path, I will rejuvenate your life. If you take this path, I will give you abundance in all aspects of your life. So the High Priestess would also be the Star, or it could be the Star. I mean, it's a female, so that's why I put them together like that. But, it could be really the High Priestess is someone who wants to sit on the backside, and maybe her counterpart is the Star. He's the one that wants to shine. He's the one that wants to be in the limelight. And the Ace of Swords, it says it's the truth. It's a new beginning in truth. So I hope you enjoyed my reading, and thank you for being here with me, and God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Good night.